universities have a lot of leftover funds. And so I think that working more closely with both the treasurer and committee leadership is something that we're very closely focused on in order to make sure that our that they're using it towards initiatives and perhaps like asking for like midterm report on how everything is going and making sure that we are putting leadership feels uh, well aware of how that.
Hayden's question was, how do we more effectively allocate our resources? And that we likely won't see a funding increase next semester. And he also mentioned that it seems like we're operating under the assumption that we're gonna get one. But I actually fully understand that if we get one, it'll be 2 semesters from now because it hasn't been pushed through this semester. So something that we can do, I'm an economics guy. I've raised like over $100,000 for various student orgs while I've been here in the past 2 years. And I think that if we utilize the endowment that exists for LSA student government, we can set aside $12,500 over the next 2 semesters and be able to capitalize on the return that the university would give us if we met with that money. Then we wouldn't have to take more money from the students. So
Are you referring to using the student government endowment that last was created for, that was created to fund scholarships for students in need?
yeah, for scholarship.
Okay, we're gonna have to cap it there on the public questions. Closing statement.
Yes, candidates, you now will get 2 minutes to give your final closing statement to the audience. We will start with Izzy and then Preston who will close us out.
Perfect. I just want to re-emphasize that both Jabril and I are very focused on a student-forward approach to the government. I think that once again, students are the base of this organization. We exist for students and to make sure that everyone feels safe and heard on campus. And so the best way that we can do that is through continuing outreach, making sure that funds are used efficiently, and listening to student voices through means such as reaching out to student organizations, speaking with the university, non-binding ballot questions, using both the external resources that we have and the internal functionings of our government to make sure that we are operating in the best way possible, the most efficient way possible, and so that we can really give a platform for students to use their voices, whether it be through the funds that we put them or the resources that we provide. The main way we both have experience with internal workings. We have experience reaching out to different organizations, different groups. We know how to balance that. And so basically just using the experience that we have to really hone in on student safety, student health, student free speech rights, making sure that people feel accepted on this campus and acting as a bridge between the university and students is our main goal and something that we both feel that we are very well equipped and well positioned to do.
Thank you, Izzy. Preston?
Well, respectfully, the people who have more experience than me here have that because they were in the assembly prior to mine when no legislation was getting passed, when nothing was getting done, when nobody was going to committee meetings. And they're here now and they're doing great work. And it's because of the changes that Alex has been leading. And I've been helping him in that. Leave this room, go into Alex's speech, and have hope in the back of your mind because we've had changes that are making committees much more efficient with attendance. We're getting money that, we had $15,000 left before I came to back. We're getting that money out. We're having people actually show up to the LSA student government general meetings. So have hope because changes have came. And if Alex and I are elected, many more changes will get done and the student body will be heard. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, at this time, we're gonna take a 5-minute intermission. There is food and water in the back if you would like to grab something. And then next we'll have our presidential candidates.
Love this room. How much was it?
I
Are you
don't,
the elections director?
I am. I don't remember.
You have a finance person, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You're good.
I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. It's all written down in the like,
We met
we may have met. I'm Lydia.
athletic,
Yes,
so you're the ISB and CSG.
yes,
Got it.
yes.
Cool. I'm the guy who was always saying we need higher turnout. Yeah.
Anyway,
Although every time I try to pass a bill for higher turnout, people shoot it down. My advice would be use your voice because it's not tainted by being the guy who's always complaining, which is what I am. Use your voice to make CSG actually expand for things. I don't know. Are you familiar with the 2023 elections?
Like,
No.
I was not a student. 20
2023. I had a bill. I wanted to pass up to the feet, talk to people. A through the election period would help, and we had the highest turnout on fall ever. And like, it's not just down with days. You could have 100 days, and obviously it's not going to turn out just like but it's something like that for a start. And also, one thing I don't like, I know like Joe's probably your friend or whatever, but the fact that we're doing these in-person systems, there's also from winter 2023, literally less than 6% of people vote by going to the in-person tables. It's like 60% vote by email. So like, I think trust the data, trust your instincts, and I guess be ambitious. Don't be like happy where you are. That's no shame on you guys.
Yeah.
It's just like we have to understand this, the rules that we're in, considering the fact that this student government back in the 70s led the Vietnam War profile. And it sounds like we don't even, like it's not even that government anymore,
I see what you're saying.
Yes.
I'm gonna check in.
Neither
with
are-
You're good.
My people, but thank-
Of course.
They're not candidates either.
Don't disqualify me. I'm a good guy.
I hope to not have to disqualify anyone. That's a lot of people.
I've actually never gotten a violation in 6 elections.
That's pretty good.
Time for new things.
Okay. Yeah, talk about it.
Let's go. Let's 1 o'clock for a minute.
I will say you did, you said it later for something after we want to No, it's use about, like a site, but. It's like black. It shows up as like a. People notice because they increase the tuition by like thousands, and then they increase that by $1 and stuff. And that's all that's. That's all that's. Yes. Why didn't you say that? Oh, it's what that. No, that's. Sound like she was saying it was a fun. We could talk about. Did I? The itemization requirement for many. That's the issue. Because I was like, and they said, I love it. It's not. We were. Huh? We've been busy because we're running for that. So. This and economics. How about yourself? Some crazy stuff.
Oh, what'd you hear? I
Real
read
fun.
the text.
It's like, I mean, that's it.
But you don't know the other side.
Yeah, exactly. So. I don't really respond, but I listen. Because I'm not a person that really listens.
Just really like.
No. Yes. Well, also. I know, but. You have to. It's honestly that you can face people like.
All right, folks, we're gonna get started here in a second. If you'd like to make your way back to your seat.
Where are the rest of the?
And feel free at any time to get up and grab more refreshments, as you see fit. Alex, you want to go on stage?
Was Tyler there?
All right, so we're gonna follow the same format and rules for our presidential candidates. So we'll be rotating who gets to answer the questions first. They'll be asked the same questions. Each will have a chance to rebuttal the other's response. Joining us, we have Jabril, who was Izzy's running mate, and Alex, who is Preston's running mate. And we will kick it off with, I believe, Preston started the first round, right? Correct? Or did Izzy start the first round?
I started the first round.
Preston started the first round, so Jabril, you will be able to kick it off with your opening statement.
Alright. Hey everyone, my name is Jabril Rahman and I am a sophomore here from Canton, Michigan, and I am studying biochemistry and computer science. And I have served on the student government for, this will be coming up on my second year. And I'm currently serving as the health chair, the chair of the health subcommittee. And I have previously served as vice chair of the health subcommittee and the diversity affairs committee. And I'm running for president because I want to lead the changes that people want to see on campus. And I want to ensure that students are equipped with the resources they need to succeed on campus, whether they are currently students or alumni throughout their entire journey through the University of Michigan. And I want to work for the students. So the challenges that they face on campus, whether that's through finding housing, subleases, I'm currently dealing with right now, I'm having trouble finding sublease. But also finding therapy services, and I want to support students who feel like their freedom of speech is not being respected on campus. So I'm looking forward to sharing more about my policies after Alex speaks. Thank you. So my there we go. Can you guys? Okay. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. My name is Alexander Richmond. I'm a junior studying political science and programming the environment, and I am now in student government for what's felt like forever, but ever since I was a freshman. And this is truly the first year of which I feel emboldened to an extent of which I can actually create change, and this is why I'm running to be president, to mandate the agenda and to carry out this platform of efficiency and proactiveness, and to make sure that we are representatives that listen to concerns. We often have our own objectives at times and ulterior motives, and our job is to amplify your voice to the administration using our position. I would encourage everyone here and all of our student body to attend our meetings for any duration of time, understand what we do and what we don't, who we reach out to and who we don't. The obligations that our representatives and our leadership have long overlooked and set aside with the curve. And no other candidates are one called out. Those have fallen short of their promises because they prioritize partisanship and exclusivity historically in the student government. The continuity of rank and file voting on declarative resolutions is over. We must be true advocates in every sense of the term. Was advocates for policies with the university, the curriculum change that necessary, and we must have a platform that is rooted in the belief that LSA student government must serve with integrity, clarity, and ambition. That we have over 20,000, or we hopefully 20,000 students in the college of LSA, yet standing there on the stage are only 2 candidates for the presidency, the highest honor. And I ran for the past 2 years saying that we should fix ourselves before we can claim to serve others. Now, based off the work that I've worked on extensively in this term,
with Martino's leadership and Alan and many of the other people that have so graciously finally turned into leaf with me. I appreciate you all. And this is something we must look forward to succeed.
Thank you. All right, we will start with you on this next question. So many students struggle with tuition and living costs on campus. What policies or initiatives would you advocate for to make LSA more financially accessible to all students?
Yes, thank you. So first of all, with assuming the new dues and we have an expansion of our budget as well. One of the first things I want us to emphasize, as he had mentioned, is fiscal stewardship. That we must set aside a certain amount of money to fulfill the obligation that we negotiated so many years ago with the University of Regents to establish an LSASG scholarship endowment. We're going to set aside $25,000 out of our drastically increased budget to fulfill the funding requirement for the LSASG scholarship endowment with LSA advancement. We're going to activate the scholarship fund and redirect these funds to provide needs-based academic scholarships for LSA undergraduate students. And also at the same time, what I've actively been doing is working with M Dining, UHS, talking to the Mesa Blue Cover and a lot of these other opportunities, and as well as some housing organizations to help establish a aggregate resource guide, a bit more expansive than the health resource guide, exclusively for housing costs, and so that people or students here can anonymously report living conditions and the costs of their tenants, of their rents, with their landlord conditions, how receptive they are. And these are things that tangibly affect the lives of each and every one of our students. And that is what should be the priority of our student body presidency, as well as LSASG as a whole.
Gabriel?
Yes, thank you for the question. I do agree with Alex that, a lot of students may struggle with, finding the funds for, coming to this university. A lot of out-of-state students, especially with, housing, regarding housing. Currently, I'm working with the Student Life Committee to develop an app or website to make finding housing and roommates, subleases easier for students. I've had multiple students come up and talk to me about like this needs to happen as soon as possible. And what Izzy and I want to do as if we are elected is to create a specific committee set towards allocating or collecting these resources and compiling them into an app or a website again that can be provided to all students regardless of whether they're in LSA, any students on campus. We would also like to partner closely with the Ann Arbor City Council to advocate for reduced fees because fees get quite out of control for housing on campus, and we would like to help assist with that. And finally, of course, scholarship fund. We would like to create a liaison position to provide informational resources for all students, so they get scholarship resources, scholarship information sent directly to their inbox, so they're informed and they can apply to as many scholarships as the university has to offer.
Thank you, Gabriel. Alex, would you like to rebuttal?
I would. Yes, I would say that when it comes to the academic affairs committee especially, and with the SLS student life committee, where, these are things that our current leadership, these ideas have been expressed to subcommittees like STAR, or the potential expansion plan that I had to create the subcommittee for opportunity advancement and resources, where we would expand the scope of academic support initiatives through scholarship navigation, advising access, financial aid information. A lot of these things that, they go into all of these parallels with Uniters, the other resources we have. And this is something that I've been pressing a lot of the current administration on when it comes to trying to get that outreach there. I think we should be significantly more aggressive when it comes to our comm committee, when it comes to expediting the process of trying to make sure that as many people, if not every member of the government is certified in websites designed through the university and LSA as much so that we can expedite this process and we can make sure that we can mass send emails and things that people actually care about,
Thank you.
such as club opportunities and funding.
All right, the next question we will start with Gabriel on. Ensuring campus is safe and welcoming is essential. What concrete measures are you seeking to implement that address student concerns about safety, harassment, or discrimination?
Yes, thank you for the question. So, as Izzy had touched on, we want to partner closely with BPSS to reduce the wait times or response times for, DPSS, action on, harassment on campus because, again, as Izzy mentioned, especially in fraternity sorority life, there is a lot of students struggle with, harassment and they feel like they don't have a safe avenue or an efficient avenue to get a response from DPSS. So we would like to again partner closely with them on that, and also again with the Ann Arbor City Council. What Izzy has been working on at SMRP is legislation or a resolution to legislative resolution to ensure that every bar on campus has provide drink powders and drink testing strips to prevent the getting that that's all. And additionally, the health committee has been working on partnering with the SRT to other fraternity and sorority life and also provide nutrient testing strips and drug denaturing kits to again prevent or minimize the presence of drugs and other roofing materials in these spaces.
Thank you, Gabriel. Alex?
And you're repeating.
Yes, I'm clear. So. The current state law on the campus environment over time. What concrete measures will be taken to address concerns around student safety, harassment, or discrimination?
Obviously, especially common issues that we've had as dealt with student rights and protesters. And I started with the DAO force here, which is dues and oversight, which we have FOIA requested the university regarding their collusion with Dana Nessel, the as well as a lot of the state police as well. And one of the important things that people don't talk about too much is that when the Human Rights Party and formally shut it down, those supporters passed the Divest for Humanity Act. The authors were doxxed by numerous external work authors and organizations, and the university didn't say much about it. The university was very silent on that, as maybe because of the fact that they were caught spying on student protesters over the summer, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars dedicated to this, near illegal incursion upon the privacy of our students on and off campus. And this is something we have to stick up for. This is something that we have to establish and continue the relationship that we have with the regents. I have that uniquely where I will be working with the regents routinely, which is the change of course as of recent. That's a pipeline that we haven't really had access to in LSA student government with the executive board due to the fact that we censured the board of regents. So previously in about 2024, that cut off that pipeline of connection. We can understand that the university isn't always acting in the best interest of its people, but it is something that we have to respond to with pragmatism and respect so that they will give us the time of day to actually hear out our policies of change and be receptive to that. And when it comes to student safety, these resources that I'm talking about through DPSS, talking about the auditing of the blue light poles, talking about the M cards where we should have resources such as Safe Ride Golden Limousine expansively overhauled so that it's accessible to all students, not so that they have to look up a resource guide to find out our website under the presupposition that they are going to already know that we are providing those resources, we wouldn't be in this problem if that was the case.
Thank you. Gabriel, would you like to rebuttal?
Yeah, not a rebuttal, it's more adding on to what Alex was saying, because, protester rights, have been especially prevalent on the, prevalent topic on campus, under the current political climate. And, I want LSA SG to be focused on, cutting, guiding the regents and cutting ties with ICE and providing formal recognition for protesters, especially regarding anti-genocide protests that are taking place on campus. And yeah, pro-Palestinian against other overseas conflicts such as the tragedies happening in Lebanon and Sudan and many other places around the world. So I think it is important that SG recognizes that and collaborates with CSG and the Board of Regents to establish